guys, it's Rachelsey in the movies, yay!
We saw a movie at the movies. We went to AMC via our A-list, and we saw Monster Hunter.
Yeah.
Starring Milla Jovovich.
Starring Leeloo Multipass.
You might know her from The Fifth Element.
Multipass.
So this is, how do we want to describe this movie? I'm going to say if you've seen Pacific Rim.
I'm going to say ridiculous.
If you've seen the Pacific Rim movies, it's reminiscent of that. It's also somewhat reminiscent of the Godzilla movies. So in that it involves big monsters. Now the setup for this is a little bit different in how they get there, but big monsters exist. Milla and her crew, other people in the movie, they gotta fight them. And so the other thing you should know is that this is based on a video game called Monster Hunter. So it is directed and I think written by Paul W.S. Anderson, which is the husband of Milla Jovovich, which I don't know if I'm saying your name right. I apologize if I'm not. And you would know them from the Resident Evil movies. We went and saw this because we like Milla and we like the Resident Evil movies, so we kind of wanted to go see this too. It's also fun. We got to see it at the theater in IMAX. Big screen, Monster Hunter, go wait or skip.
I'm going to say go see this movie, Rachel. If you're a fan of movies based on video games, I'll tell you what, if you're a fan of a movie that after the first 10 minutes you're like, uh-oh, what did I get myself into? But then it makes a sharp turnaround and you love it because it's just fun, it's just fun ridiculousness, then this movie is for you. Leeloo Multipass. She shines, so does Tony Jaa. He shines, it's crazy, it's wild. I think even the guy in there from... what's that? Hellboy, the original Hellboy's in it, I think. Anyway, crazy movie. I loved it. Go see it.
I'm going to say skip on this movie, although I really enjoyed it. I did. I enjoyed it. If you just want to see a fun movie, but I'm going to say skip on it because you can totally skip this movie and your life's not going to be any different for it.
It's going to be worse, I think.
Your life's not going to be any different. There's not anything to this movie. It's based on a video game, so I think that this, at best, has a niche audience. If you just want to see a fun, popcorn, movie, and you just want to have it, then out of those kind of movies, and you want to see, big monsters on an IMAX screen, then I'm going to say, yeah, go see this.
So
maybe it's skip with a caveat. I often have go with a caveat. This is skip with a caveat.
I prefer mine go with caviar.
Okay. Spoilers.
Spoilers.
Hang on. Spoilers.
Leeloo.
I have a phobia of spiders. Now, why am I telling you that? Why am I telling them that?
Because this is the Lord of the Rings movie the last Lord of the Rings movie where he goes in there, Frodo goes in there, and that big spider's in there? There's 1,000 of those spiders. And they're all chasing Leeloo Multipass.
Thousands of spiders and webs and for an extended time in the movie.
They're rowdy and scary. And
so just know that.
Yeah, it's a lot. But also, I was like, this is awesome. Because I was like, ugh. It was a lot. This is what I want. I didn't know I wanted that from this movie. And a lot of surprising things happened in the movie. Towards the beginning, I was like, oh no. We hadn't get into spoilers yet.
No, I already said
spoilers. I was like, does Milla just die? Is this one of those movies? Remember that one of those Halloween movies that had Jamie Lee Curtis in it, and then she died in the opening thing, and you were like, huh? They tricked me in here. They tricked me into this movie.
I did wonder. I was like, oh, does Milla Jovovich die towards the beginning?
Yeah, because I didn't know a lot about this movie at all. I didn't see any of the trailers, or anything about the video game. Anyway, so I was like, that was surprising, and I didn't know what would happen, and that was. I enjoyed it.
And she didn't die, so we were glad. We got Milla the whole time.
So I want to see it.
She does have a certain charisma about her.
I say panache.
Even at the beginning of the movie, when the dialogue was kind of
comically bad,
cringeworthy, Milla is still likable. Yeah, so she's really great in this movie. The beginning, it's just, she's out there. There's soldiers. There's 6 people, and they kind of got to carry this movie with dialogue, and it's just not great. It's not great. But once we get to the next act and you have Milla Jovovich and then
Tony Jaa
in the movie, those two opposite each other, they were great.
It's magic.
Really, really good. And that is a chunk of the movie, is them two together. Really enjoyed that part of the movie. I don't know. It was fun. I thought some things lasted longer than they need to. Her and Tony Jaa's character, the characters don't speak the same language. they fight for an incredibly long time, thinking like they need to, you know, be wary of one another. Way longer. I was like, guys, there's a giant monster out there.
The biggest enemy is the giant monster
that wants to kill you, and you already know this. So get your act together and join forces. Anyway,
can we talk about how bad this movie seemed during the first 10 minutes?
Yeah.
I was like, uh-oh. Like, they were at the cold open of, like, them, like, they're on that big ship, and, like, it's just, like, all these...
Well, because you're in
I was like, this is, like, video game bad, like, original PlayStation video game bad, where I was like, this is not going to be good. What have I done to us?
And if you've played...
This was my idea.
If you've played video games, then you will definitely recognize there are some scenes that seem very video game-like. I mean, literally at one point, Milla's character picks up a med pack, almost as if she's giving herself, like, heart power to continue on. You know what I mean?
She did, yeah, you're right.
So there were some scenes like that, but that's kind of fun, especially if you're a fan of the video game. Like, then that's really fun for you.
Yeah, and also like one of the surprising things I didn't expect. It's like spent on this a pretty good portion of the early part of the movie doing like here are these characters. You know, you like this guy, you like this guy. They're all dead now, and you're like, what? Oh, this one guy died gruesomely. See it? Like I didn't expect that.
Yeah.
And like so, this movie was a lot of fun. I'm glad that we could see it. I got to see it, and I'm glad that it was so much fun that I forgot about the terrible open to the movie.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, it totally, like, I was like, I love this movie.
Well,
I was ready for the next movie. At the end of this movie, I'm ready for number 2.
That's what I'm going to say. At the end, it is set up to bring you into a sequel, and now you have the characters kind of set up of who they're going to be.
Let's do it.
Monster hunters. And I was like, oh, yeah, I totally want to see what they're going to do. Like, how they're going to get to the Sky Tower, how they're going to do this. So,
yeah, and who's that hooded figure? I don't know. And it's like it's the same thing with the Resident Evil movies. Same person that made it. Of course, Milla, I don't know how to say her name either. She's the main character. Movie magic, though. Happy accident in our lives. We didn't expect to love those movies as much as we did.
Right.
And I feel like this will be the same thing.
It could be the same thing. It is different. The Resident Evil movies had the zombie mythology, which is very popular in our culture, or has been recently. This, I don't know, they could pick up on the monster kind of thing that we're getting with Godzilla, Pacific Rim. It's just, I don't think that's quite taken off in the way the zombie thing did with other things. But yeah, so this was a really good movie. We want to see the next one. There is a mid-credit scene, and it's going to feature a crazy character from the movie that was probably, for me, the most surprising thing
in the whole movie. Yeah. Like,
surprising, somewhat disturbing. Why was Milla's character flirting with him? I don't know.
That was a weird reaction.
We won't even tell you what the character is, just in case you watch this past the spoilers. It was crazy.
It's because she's the 5th element, which is love.
Oh, love.